Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be doing an updated winter base routine. Well, I thought it was super important to kind of show what I'm doing. Maybe some people who have the same skin type as me. I have dry skin and I also have eczema, so for whoever has a similar skin type, this could possibly be helpful to you and you guys can try this makeup style, or you can just do it no matter what skin type you are. The only thing I have done is skin prep. I got out of the shower and I just put my Aquaphor. I always use Aquaphor on my skin during the winter time, and then I also applied my Pond's face cream as well as the Ordinary hyaluronic acid serum and my e.l.f. Power Grip primer. Then I just set that and prepped with my MAC Prep and Prime setting mist. First we're gonna start with spot concealing and then we're gonna move on to my brows. So to spot conceal, I use my NARS creamy concealer in the shade Café con Leche. I'm just gonna grab my mirror and just see where I need to spot conceal. My skin has been doing a lot better. Honestly, I don't even know what I did to get it under control. I don't really actually do anything. I just kind of wait for it to settle down on its own, which is probably not the best idea and will probably not work for me forever, but for now, I just don't stress about it too much because also stress contributes to acne breakouts. So if I stress about trying to find a solution so much, it probably won't come and it'll get worse. So I try not to worry about it that much. I try to just think it's gonna go away on its own. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use my Edge Plus. This is how I've been doing them lately. I actually always go in and out of this style of eyebrow. Lately I've been really liking how they've been looking. They look super pretty and super laid, and I really like this style. And that's pretty much how I do my eyebrows. As you guys saw, I just combed them against my hair and then back over just to make sure that they have that extra hold. And I just go ahead and pass the end of my spoolie over it just to extra set them in place and flatten them. Now that I'm finished with my eyebrows, I go ahead and just grab a little Q-tip and wipe off any of the gel that has gotten under or over my eyebrows. And that's because I don't want the foundation and the powders and all that to get gunky over that area. And it's happened before and I've made that mistake, so I just make sure to clean those areas up so it can look super seamless, super clean. I just wet my Q-tip and I get super close to where I put my gel on my hair. Always, always, always clean it up and get as close as you can without ruining your eyebrows. Perfect! Just grab the black and my dark brown in my Mario palette. I just go in and stamp the product in super lightly. I want it to just fill in those areas. As you can tell, they don't really budge. My eyebrows are laid and they're not gonna move. So I have really stubborn eyebrows. They always lay flat after a while if I just use a regular schmegular brow gel. So that's why I thought that I would try out that Edge gel, and it's been working pretty well for me. I've had it for a year now and I can always count on it to keep my brows in place. So pretty much the brows. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my concealer brush and start carving out my eyebrows. Grab my NARS concealer and I'm just gonna start with this brow because this one is my favorite. At least today, she looks really good. To carve on top, I used my foundation, of course. I grab a pump of my NARS foundation in Stromboli. Now what we're gonna move on to is we're gonna blend in my spot concealing and then we're gonna move on to blending out the eyebrow area. Putting that, I had some on my chin, and if I miss any, it really doesn't matter because I'm gonna put my foundation over and it won't be noticeable. I obviously just definitely make sure to blend out my foundation well enough to the point where I just blend those missed spots away. We're gonna do my eyebrows. Blend it here, top. I try to get as close as I can as possible to the top of my eyebrow and the bottom as well without getting on the actual eyebrow. The next step to this makeup routine is starting with my foundation. So now I'm just gonna take that foundation that I used to carve out the top of my eyebrows and just start dotting it. I know I said that I like using brushes, but again, it starts looking cakey super fast. So lately I've been using my beauty blender. It's already damp, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I go ahead and bring that into my eyelid as well, just to blend in any concealer. I'm gonna put 2 dots of my foundation, which is a warm shade, under my eyes to offset any grayness. That's because I have a lighter concealer, and if I use my lighter concealer, it just makes it look kind of like gray in that area, so I want to make sure to first cover that up. I could just use the residue, but I like to leave it and let it sit for a little bit, like a thicker layer of it, so I can make sure that I get the best full coverage while I'm doing my blush as well as my contour and cream bronzer. Right there, right there, right there. Since I already have some on my hand, some foundation on my hand, I also go ahead and go here so I can add that clean coverage for when I'm done with my contour if it gets dragged down or something. So don't want it to look like that, of course. You guys already know I use the iconic London cream face palette. I'm just using that, and then I go only in the tip of my nose. I've been doing that lately, just in the tip. I know I've done the sides before in a video, but as of late, just the tip, and then a little dot right there under my lip. I always like do this when I remember to do it. Luckily I remembered today. And then I go along my chin right here. Perfect. First I'm gonna go in with this super dark shade right here. I just put the smallest amount because of course it's a very dark color and I don't want it to look muddy or anything. I just put it right where you need a contour and blend upwards. And lately I've been wanting to look straight at my makeup instead of doing it at an angle, so I can get the best look at what it'll look like if I'm going face on looking at someone rather than to the side, because I've realized that sometimes my makeup does look different and I'm like obviously it was gonna look different once I faced forward, but you know, like when I'm doing my contour or my blush, like sometimes I put it too centered or too out. So I just remember like your front profile is what you should go based off of. You as in talking to myself, not you. You can do whatever you want with what suits your face. Just putting down my contour, making sure it's all blended. Now that we have a similar shade that we're going to use to blend this out, I'm going to take this shade now for cream bronzer and put that in a similar area but a little higher, just to add warmth. Now we will blend in this area. And then my lips. And it's okay if it looks like messy and muddy right now. We're gonna go over with our beauty blender and foundation brush to kind of even everything out. Now we're gonna go in with blush. This is actually a new blush that I received for Christmas. It's the Rare Beauty Blush in Hope. And I've always really loved this shade. I thought it was super cute and pretty. It's like right in the middle of peachy, yet pinky, not too much and not too little. So this, shout out to my cousin Karen for getting me this. I love you and you're the best. A few little dots of that right there, high points of my cheek, and we're just gonna go ahead and blend that out. And again, I am looking straight, or at least attempting to make sure that I don't put anything super in the center of my face, because I have an oval face, so whenever I put something too close to my face, it definitely rounds it out. I know for some that may be common sense, but to those who don't know, I'm sharing this information with you because sometimes you kind of forget. Like, we see so many trends on TikTok of a certain way to do makeup, but we also forget to remember that what works for someone else isn't going to work for your face shape. So everything is whatever is catered to you. Your makeup, however it looks best on you, however you feel pretty, is how you should do it and how you should continue to do it. Obviously, products and stuff like that may work for you, but it's also similar with that, with skin types, skin tones, undertones, and just things like that. So we finished with the blush. I might add some more later once I'm finished blending in my concealer and everything, but for now that looks good to me. Right now I'm actually gonna blend the foundation that I put under my eye just to get a head start on my concealer. I'm blending that in with my same concealer brush that I've been using the whole video. And no, I did not forget about the foundation under my cheekbones. I am just trying to fully let that soak in, and then we're gonna go in because there's a lot more steps to go. We are gonna go in with the concealer, which is the NARS one. We'll be putting this here, right on the creases of my under eyes, and a little here. And I've also been doing my concealer a little different because I saw a tip for a woman that has a similar face shape. So anyways, I put my concealer there. It looks like much, but we need to put that on. We need to not be afraid of putting it on. Also, another thing is my concealer placement for my nose contour. So lately I've been putting it on the sides to cast out any shadow. I like to put some down here to lift up my lips. I do like to put some here just to make it a little brighter. Let me know if you guys are watching this far into my video. If you are, you're super cool and I freaking love you. And I just want you guys to feel comfortable here and ask any questions and just get closer to any of you that I honestly share my YouTube channel with, because obviously, like, I don't share it all over the place. You are the select few that know about it. You are very special and I trust you, and you just have that quality about you where I just feel comfortable sharing that, and that is such a beautiful thing. Thank you for being here and for watching, even though I might not make sense sometimes, but who cares? Who makes sense nowadays? So now that that's done, the bottom and my face, if anything gets diffused, I obviously go back with the brushes and the leftover residue from my brushes. We're gonna blend in my under eyes. So now we're gonna grab a new brush, a new little concealer brush, and tap in that concealer. I'm tapping it in, and I do bring it up here. Don't worry, I am gonna go back in with my blush and go over that so it doesn't look harsh and it looks all blended So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your 2024. Right now I'm just doing a lot of slowing down, barely. Like, I've just been super like burnt out lately, like with school and just like working and what I work in. It's kind of like taxing sometimes, especially when there's a lot of children. If that gives you like a little hint of the area that I am currently working in just to get through school. It's pretty taxing, honestly. And you know, relationships and finances, obviously, like I'm a big girl and I pay for my own things. And I recently got hurt, like my body was hurting from the gym, so I'm not giving myself a hard time, like giving myself a little break. And obviously I'm staying active, I'm still gonna take care of myself, but till the next year comes in, I am just gonna let myself breathe, you know? It's been a lot. I'm out of a semester of school already. I already did finals 2 weeks ago, and I'm just gonna give myself that peace, and I hope that you guys can do that for yourselves too. Or you can also motivate yourself to start going for all those goals that you want to do. You don't need like that calendar year to change in order to do all these things for yourselves. Now I'm gonna be grabbing my Born This Way concealer in the shade Vanilla, and I'm gonna put that in my inner corners just to highlight a little bit more, because I love that highlighted eye. I don't put this anywhere else because it's really bright. And yeah, so I let that sit for a bit. I went over my contour and my bronzer, as you probably saw, and I will be adding a little bit more blush because I noticed it kind of like got diffused. Go ahead and blend out that blush really fast. I feel like this year is just about letting things go, like letting things go in the sense of like letting yourself go. Like, stop holding yourself back because you're embarrassed or you feel like you can't do something. Like, who cares about being embarrassed? Like, seriously, like it just like honestly I've grown into this person where like I get mad at myself like if I get embarrassed. It's like, who cares? Like, if anything, people will look at you and admire you for being so sure of yourself to do something that they probably wouldn't have the guts to do. And it's not even so much about other people noticing your bravery or your courage, but it's just like how you feel about yourself. Once you start stepping out of your comfort zone and just like wearing whatever you want to wear, or saying whatever you want to say that everyone else is too afraid to say, or just doing things differently, who just do what they want to do because they freaking feel like it and they make it happen for themselves. Like, that is super admirable, and that's just a quality that I feel is already coming in to this next year for me. I just feel like a lot of different things are gonna happen. I feel like I'm growing, honestly, more as a person. And like I explained in one of my past videos, like I'm just feeling like trying new things and being around more people. I feel like oftentimes we just get in like our little bubble and like our day-to-day routine that we kind of like, the months go by and you forget to prioritize relationships or focus on yourself. Before we know it, time has gone by and then you're like, oh, like, and you're feeling burnt out and you don't know why. What's because of that? Because you didn't slow down, like look around, make plans with people, give them a call or a text, whatever it is, or just go out and do that one thing that you love to do for yourself. As you do it, you literally feel so much better instantly. Just anything that makes you happy. So with whatever's left over on my little nose contour brush, I just put that outwards of my eyes. I just try to get that back because I did put like a super bright color on my eyes. So look at this one looks like shorter, and then this one's like elongated. So I just kind of bring that out, bring that eye shape back, keep that on the outsides of the eye. Now I'm gonna grab my beauty blender once again, and I will be going over all of the spots. Obviously it doesn't look seamless right now. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that, and then we will continue with the setting part. Everything is all blended out. So once again, go back in with my brushes that have any leftover product and just kind of reapply everything that has been lost. You can put a little bit of that on the tip. Then my contour brush once again. I'm going to mist our face with the Fix Plus once again. My little fan. Now to set our face. I grabbed my Airspun powder as well as my Essence powder and my Fit Me powder in 235 Pure Beige, as well as the Morphe Full Face palette to use for contour, bronzer, and blush. So grab that again. Okay. Keep looking. Set that. I bring it up a little bit. I always seem to like forget my little tips for myself, so it will be really useful to have a YouTube video that I can even watch for myself. I'll grab this powder and put it under my nose to make sure it stays bright down there, because I don't want it to look droopy or anything. Bring it down to these areas as well. We're gonna grab our Airspun powder, puff, and I'm gonna grab some powder and also set under my eyes once again with my loose powder now. So I tap that on my hand and I'm just setting under there really, really well. I have not graduated to a new powder, but maybe one day. I really want to try Huda Beauty's powder. Here it's really good and I want to know what all the hype is about. Also heard that the One Size powder is really good. So another little tip that I've been doing as of the last 2 times I've done my makeup is I puff my mouth in order to avoid getting smile lines. I go ahead and do that. And I make sure to leave that powder on in that area for as long as I possibly can. There you go. It's giving White Chicks when he puts that powder in her face. She's like, powder me. Perfect. Now that we look like this, we are going ahead and grabbing our Fit Me powder now. I grab this fluffy brush and any of the excess translucent powder that I have on my hand or anywhere, and I mix it in with this powder. Dust it all over the place on my forehead. So we're gonna move on to my blush and bronzer. So I grabbed the contour shade in that palette, and just like the cream contour, I just stick it in the area where I need it. I don't get too crazy with it yet, because that's more so for my bronzer to do. It looks a little harsh right now, but I will blend it out and it will look fine. Just putting it here, blending that upwards a little bit, but keeping it mostly in that area. Grab that same brush and I grab my bronzer shades in that same palette. Just dust that over. The same Morphe palette, believe it or not. And I will be grabbing this super cute peachy shade that I just look forward and stamp that right where I put my blush, my cream blush, and stay mostly in the outer parts of my face and not in the center. The last steps that we do, at least for setting my face, I like to grab the Brighten Up by Essence that I used earlier, as well as the Fit Me powder, and I like carving out all the areas from before, so my nose and under my cheekbones. So I just put that along the curves of my nose. Just put it under here, and I will be dusting it off, of course. Then I grab that Brighten Up powder once again and my Fit Me powder. Grab a little bit of that, and I cut the bottom right here just to ensure it's nice and clean. That's why I grab my powder that's close to my foundation shade. We're just gonna let that sit there for a bit. Dust off all of the products that we have on our face. And what we're gonna do is put some of it back. Believe it or not, it's just a back and forth game, honestly. Anything that I feel that kind of like got swept away by me sweeping off my powders. So now I'm just gonna be grabbing my Mario palette, and I grab this shade, and maybe some of this shade. Just dust that all over my eyes. Dust that. I almost forgot to show you guys this, but I also grab this shadow and this shadow, highlight the inner part of my eyes with it. So I also grab that same thing, those two shadows, and just lightly dust them over the front of my eye just to make sure that concealer and everything stays bright. I go ahead and grab my Dior face palette, and I just grab these two shades at the top and just put some highlight on the high points of my face, here and on the tip of my nose, some here as well. Maybe some on my chin. I grab a smaller little brush and I go ahead and grab shade. Just put that in my under eye. I just think it makes the eyes look super pretty. Mark my beauty marks. Starting with my liner, look straight and let kind of like the creases of my eyes just guide me to my wing. Grab my Sky High Maybelline mascara that's already dried out. What can we do? What do we do? I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced blush, shade Velvet Crush. It's really pretty. It's just like this super cute like mauve color. Mascara has dried out a bit. I curl them. Don't listen to me, you don't have to do this, but this is what I do. So then this is the trick to keeping your lashes up. I use the Mame Extract Apple mascara, kind of like the topper, to keep that curl and to get an extra black look for my lashes, extra full. Never get it in the roots because that's how they'll become droopy. And go ahead and grab my Bisou liner in black and tightline my entire eye, top and bottom. Not always bottom, but always top for sure. I always struggle because my eyes water. This one doesn't run on me, so highly recommend for anyone looking for a tight line liner. This one works amazing. Showed you guys in the past, I do my little inverted cat eye liner in the front of my eyes. You'll see what I'm talking about. Just flick it. And like the little like crevice of my eye already like has that look, so I just let it guide me as well. It's just really pretty. Like That is pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face and do my lip combo. So I set my face with my Fix Plus once again, and then I go ahead and also use the e.l.f. Sale Night Microfine Setting Mist. To top it all off, I use my Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray by Charlotte Tilbury to show you guys what I do for my lip combo. It is very, very crucial and important that you guys listen the fuck up. Can't find my Rent Dew lip liner by One Size, so I'm gonna be using my Beauty Creations Plump and Pout lip liner in the shade Attracted to You. Ahead and set my liner actually with my powder puff and my translucent setting powder, and go all over that. And I grab the same liner, go over it one more time. Little trick is I grab my concealer and I just put a dot of that. And just grab this brush and just blend out any harsh corners. Make sure it doesn't look too harsh. And to top it all off, I grab my NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Madeline. Gonna go ahead and fix my hair and do any little touch-ups. Okay guys, so the only other thing that I did was curl my lashes and fix any little marks that I had from my mascara that went on my eyelid, and that is pretty much it for the makeup look. I will see you guys in one of my next videos. Bye.